I've just pulled into this Tesla Supercharger in Avenel, New Jersey with my Ford F-150 Lightning. No, I'm not crazy. I'm gonna charge this Lightning on this Tesla Supercharger, and this is not one of the Magic Dock Superchargers. It's a regular V3 Tesla Supercharger. We have to go back about a year to understand why this is happening. And about a year ago, the Ford CEO Jim Farley announced that Ford was going to be transitioning from the connector used by all electric vehicles in North America, except for Tesla. That's the J1772 for AC charging and the CCS1 connector for DC charging. Now, I know the Nissan Leaf uses CHAdeMO, but we'll push that to the side for a minute. All the vehicles use J1772 and CCS1 except for Tesla. They use their own proprietary Tesla connector called the North American Charging Standard. Tesla had always had it proprietary, but they opened it up for other companies to use not a long time ago, but nobody took them up on it. And then Ford, out of the blue, announced they were going to transition in 2025. Starting in 2025, some of their vehicles were going to become equipped with that connector for use. However, Farley didn't want to have his customers wait till 2025 until there was the NACS inlet in the vehicle. So he said, starting next year in 2024, we're going to make an adapter available, and our customers will be able to access Tesla Superchargers via the adapter. Well, today is February 29th, 2024, and today is the day that Tesla opened up the Supercharger network for Ford vehicles via an adapter. I'm meeting with Ford here at this station. They're gonna hand me one of the few adapters that are available, and we are going to charge my F-150 Lightning on that Tesla Supercharger. Okay, well, I'm here with Jovina from Ford. She has a little present for me.
Yes, we're so excited to get this over to you.
So cool. I've been waiting for this for a while. Oh, it's all wrapped up and everything. We'll take a closer look at it later, but Jovina has another one here that we're going to take a look at. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what went into this? Because, you know, there's a lot of concern about adapter safety, and, you know, this is the official Ford adapter, which you can get through the Ford website. I'll talk a little bit later about how you can order your own adapter.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit about the how this came about.
Yeah, so Tesla designed and engineered this adapter, and there are three key safety features within this. The first one is there is actually a physical interlock in the adapter, so that once that it is plugged in to your vehicle with the Supercharger plugged with it, you can't pull it out, right? That's the first safety piece to keep customers from accidentally
either end. You can't
either
pull.
end.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. There's a lock here for the
lock inside.
inlet. Yeah.
The second one, this what you're pointing to, the latch, is your second safety feature. So should for some reason the first interlock not occur, this second one, if once you trigger this, that triggers another point to sever the connection.
Yeah, it shuts off.
Yep, and then the third piece is that within it there are two temperature sensors within the adapter, so that if it starts to get a bit warm, it can slow down the energy going through. Right. If it starts to get a bit hot, it can actually interrupt it as well. So
the adapter itself can throttle down the charging rate if it's starting to get too hot, or does it communicate to, how's that work?
It communicates to the control pilot, which then both the charger and the vehicle can censor that trigger. Right,
because it's not like it's quote unquote smart.
No, the adapter is not smart, but it actually, that interaction with it actually just triggers that, and then it's either the charger or the vehicle itself sensing that. Absolutely.
So let me just take a quick look at it here. So, okay, so here, there's a little trigger, I guess, on the bottom to release the, right, so if you were charging and you were to push that down, it shuts off charging. The same way as if you were to unlock it, try to unlock it here.
It's not going to allow you to do that.
Yeah, okay.
It's not going to allow you to accidentally pull it out.
Yeah, you don't want it going through hot, you know?
That's right, that's right.
That's right. So, and now this is going to be available on the Ford website.
Yeah, right? It is available through Ford.com/fast charging adapters.
Okay, and $230, I think it was, plus shipping.
$230, and it includes shipping and estimated taxes.
However, if you're a current Ford, not all Ford EVs, not if you're an old school, I think Focus EV owner, but if you're a Lightning Mustang Mach-E. How about Transit,
Yes.
E-Transit?
Yep.
Yeah, so
Transit
any of
as well.
those vehicles, and you don't have to be the original owner. You could have bought it used because the connector goes to the VIN,
Correct.
not to the owner.
Yes,
right?
so we are offering one complimentary adapter per VIN for our customers.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great. And you mail it out. Do you know any idea of like lead time? Like if I'm sure people are going to rush to order these things now. Do you have? That might have been an unfair question, but is it going to take months and months for people to get them?
Yeah, we expect that the demand is much higher. Is going to be much higher than we'll have supply it to start, and so there's going to be a bit of a ramp up. We don't exactly know until we see how what's coming in, but I would expect it's going to vary by person as we get more and more supply.
I'll be holding an online auction for mine, guys, next week. The highest bidder. Just kidding. Yeah, no, I'm not giving up on this. Now, my followers know that I actually have some of the third-party adapters. We're not going to really be getting involved with them here today. This is just going on the Ford adapter. There's going to be plenty of time to talk about them and whether or not they're safe and whether or not Ford and Tesla endorses them. But for today, it's Ford's day, and we're just going to be really plugging in and charging with the official Ford adapter that's engineered by Tesla. Right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Let's get charging.
Absolutely.
All right, well, I'm sitting in my Lightning, and here is the adapter. Let's open her up. Okay, we've got this little step-by-step, charging step-by-step. They give you some instructions here, which is kind of cool. Here's the adapter. It's wrapped very nicely. Little box here. Oh, and it even has Jim Farley's signature on here. Dear valued Ford customer, I want to personally thank you for being part of the Ford family and for joining the electric vehicle revolution ahead of the curve. The fast charging adapter in this box will unlock access to thousands of Tesla Superchargers, giving you more charging options. This gift is an expression of our appreciation for your loyalty as we continue working to improve the overall EV experience. So really cool. All right, let's take a look at the adapter. It's got a little Ford sticker. Peel that off. And there she goes. Okay, looks nice. So now what we have to do is plug her in and see how she works. Okay, well, here we are. Here's the adapter. I'm going to plug her in. I'm going to take a look at my app and see what kind of power it's drawing. I think I'm at around 28, 29% state of charge now, so it should pull a decent amount of power. We'll talk a little bit about how much power the adapter can allow pass through it once I'm plugged in. Now that's all I should have to do, because I've already enabled plug-in charge on my Lightning. You have to be a member of the Blue Oval Charging Network, which most Mustang Mach-E and Ford F-150 Lightning owners are, because the vehicles come with, I'm not sure if they still do, they used to come with 250 kilowatt hour free charging, and in order to get that you have to join the Blue Oval Charging Network. So we all joined it and got our 250 kilowatts of free charging. So I was already a member. I wasn't currently using plug-in charge though. When I use the other networks, I have no problem using an app and swiping it. So I had to activate plug-in charge, which I did, and now I already hear the supercharger ramping up in the fan, so I know I'm charging. I don't know exactly how much speed I'm getting yet, but we're going to take a look at my Ford Pass app, not the Tesla app, because everything gets authenticated and runs through your Ford Pass app. It's different than the Tesla Magic Dock stations where you activate and pay through the Tesla app. When you're using this adapter, it's going to go through the Ford Pass app, so we're going to take a look at that in a second. But as far as what the adapter can allow, it's rated for 1,000 volts and up to 500 amps. And I'm not 100% sure if it's a continuous 500 amps for, like, you know, a half an hour or whatever, but that doesn't really matter with the current Ford vehicles, at least, because what happens is you get a 500 amp boost when you initially plug in, as long as you're down under like 70%. I've demonstrated this on my Ford F-150 Lightning charging videos over and over, and I talked about the boost and how you get about 10 minutes of 500 amps. So you get more than, Ford says that the Lightning has a max DC fast charging rate of 155 kilowatts. I've pulled 180 kilowatts on it plenty of times, but only in that first 10-minute boost. And then it drops down to accepting 300 amps. So it settles in at around 120, 125 kilowatt and pulls that for a pretty long time. The Lightning has a pretty good charging curve, but we've already talked about that a lot in my DC fast charge videos. I'll actually drop a link to those in the description of this video if anybody's interested in learning about the characteristics of DC fast charging on the Lightning. So we should be pulling a good amount now. I'm going to open up my Ford Pass app, and I'm going to see, because unfortunately, and this is one of the things I've complained about with Ford vehicles, they have terrible in-car charging information. Ford's got to step it up and give us more information inside the car. You don't get on the center display or the drive display what the kilowatt draw is, how many kilowatt hours it's taken, and most EVs do that today. Please, Ford, please add that soon, because it's so useful to have. But they do offer it in the app, so let's take a look and see if I can see what it's pulling now. Okay, charging. So we have details, it's loading. I'm at 33% state of charge now. Charging details. I'm pulling 173 kilowatts right now. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll put this up on the screen. And I've already added 8 kilowatt hour in 3 minutes. So yeah, it's pumping along. We're in that initial boost where the Lightning is accepting 500 amps. That's why we're taking in more than what Ford even says the Lightning charges at. They say the max charge rate is 155 kilowatts. I think that's to temper people's expectations, because depending on when you plug in, how cold the battery is, what charger you're on, there's so many factors, and they say it's 155, but if you plug in at a low state of charge, you can pull more than 155 for a good solid 10 minutes. And that's why we talk about when you go on these long road trips, it's always not the best idea to charge to 80%. Plug in at a low charging state of charge, charge to about 60, 70%. You'll get out of there in like 30, 35 minutes with a Lightning and move on and go to the next charger. But anyway, so it's working. She's pumping in. And what does this mean? Well, this means now that Ford customers have over 15,000 more charging points right now than they had 12 hours ago across the country. We all talked about how comprehensive the Tesla Supercharger network is and how it's been such an incredible advantage over other electric vehicles. People buy Teslas just for the charging network. They might like the other vehicle more, but they're like, yeah, but you know what? There's unreliable networks out there. I need to get around. So I'm just going to get the Tesla. I would have preferred the Mach-E, but I bought a Model Y because it just works and I can go wherever I want to. That advantage ends today. And I actually did a video on this wondering if Tesla really made the right move, because they had this competitive advantage over everybody else. I'm not sure if I was Elon, if I would have let these guys use my network, but it is. And you know what? It is good for the industry. And Elon has always said that, his whole motto was, he wanted to do what's good for the industry, to get everybody off oil, to proliferate electrification. Well, he proved it big time with this in allowing Ford and all the other OEMs to use the network that he's spent, billions to proliferate. So what's next besides Ford? We have 4 automakers that we know are going to be the next ones: GM, Rivian, Polestar, and Volvo. Beyond that, we don't know which ones are going to come in what order. But if you're an owner of one of those 4 vehicles, you're next. We don't know when, but Ford was first, and that was because Ford was first and came out and said they're going to transition, and they forced the entire industry. If Jim Farley didn't come out and say that, I don't know if we'd be talking about other OEMs using Tesla's connector. It took somebody to stand up and do it, and Farley did, and I give him a ton of credit. And I'm actually going to have an interview with Jim tomorrow. So look for that on State of Charge in a couple of days. He's giving me a 10 or 15 minute interview. We're going to talk about this whole process, why he did it, what the ramifications are, and all that. So keep an eye out on State of Charge, because I'm going to have an interview one-on-one with Jim Farley coming up next. Okay, so how do you get this adapter if you're a Ford customer? State of Charge is powered by Qmerit. After I've helped you decide which electric vehicle charging equipment you're going to buy, follow the link in the description of my videos and let the EV charging installation professionals at Qmerit install it. Okay, so if you want a qualifying Ford electric vehicle, how do you get your adapter? And qualifying Ford electric vehicles are the Ford F-150 Lightning, Mustang Mach-E, and the Ford E-Transit. As long as you're the owner of one now, you didn't have to be the original owner, you can get your adapter. Jovina gave us a direct link earlier in the video, but there's a bunch of ways you can find this on the Ford website. I just signed into my Ford account, clicked support and service, and one of the questions there was, how do I reserve my complimentary fast charging adapter from Ford? I clicked on reserve your fast charging adapter, and that took me to a page where I just clicked get started, and then reserve your adapter at no cost. And that was it. All my information was populated already. I didn't have to fill in anything. Now, I know if you don't have an online Ford account, you're going to have to provide your VIN. But since I have an account with Ford, they know what my VIN is. I didn't have to do anything. I just clicked, as you saw, and that's it. I'm in line for my free adapter. And one last thing, you only have 4 months to get your free adapter. This offer ends on June 30th. So if you haven't filled this out by June 30th, you won't get the free adapter. Additionally, customers that buy new Ford EVs after June 30th won't qualify for the free adapter. They'll have to buy one. This free adapter offer is specifically for existing Ford electric vehicle owners. Okay, so I've been charging for 10 minutes now. I've added 27 kilowatt hour, and the charging rate's down to 140 kilowatts. So the boost is just about ending now, and it's going to drop down to only accepting 300 amps, the Lightning will. The Tesla Supercharger could deliver more, but after 10 minutes, the Lightning is going to lower its charging rate. So I'm super impressed with this. And you know, this really is going to liberate Ford electric vehicle owners to have access to so many more chargers, and so many more chargers that work. It's not just that Tesla has more charging points, but they almost always work. And if you've been following this industry, you've noticed that the CCS DC fast chargers from all the networks, Electrify America, EVgo, ChargePoint, they're very unreliable at times. And they also don't install as many at each location. Take a look at this Tesla Supercharger location. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's like 12 or 13 superchargers. Most Electrify America sites have 4 stations, and you know, there's more than 4 vehicles charging here now, so I'd be waiting. And I think that all goes into the reason why Ford and the other companies decided, look, it's just better to make a deal with Tesla, get access to their supercharger network, and it's better for our customers. And I'm happy that, you know, Ford kind of bit the bullet and said, you know what, the optics of this might not be great, but it's good for our customers, and we care more about our customers than maybe people saying, oh, you caved into Tesla, you know. So that's good. So listen, we're here today just to do the video on the Ford adapter, the official Ford adapter. My followers know that I also have the only other 2 adapters that are on the market, one made by A to Z and one made by Lectron. We're going to be doing videos on those to see if they work, but not today. Today's a Ford day. I'm not going to tarnish, you know, Ford's coming out party here today by using those adapters. But really soon, we're going to test those out. I have a lot of tests coming up with different vehicles, with different adapters. We're going to see exactly what works and where what works in the coming week or so. But today's Ford day, and like I said, I didn't want to spoil their day. I appreciate them coming out, giving me this adapter, meeting me here at this charging station. And I just landed an hour ago from a week in Sweden with Polestar, which is why I didn't, geez. When are all these trucks going to be electric? And then I can talk. Which is why it took me half the day to get this. So some people have already posted their videos on them using the adapter. I was mid-air when people were doing their charge recordings, but I'm still here day one, and Ford waited out here for me till I got off my flight to hand me the adapter, and I want to thank them for doing that. And I want to congratulate them on being the first automaker to get access to Tesla Superchargers. They deserve it because they were the ones that came out and announced first. And you know, this is a good day for electric vehicles in North America, not just for Ford. Everyone's coalescing around one plug now. This is what we need. It's going to make charging simpler, faster, easier, more accessible for everybody. And it's going to take, it's going to be a couple bumpy years here now as the vehicles transition from having CCS to the NACS. There's going to be a lot of charging equipment that's going to need to be updated. There's going to be a lot of issues, but overall, once the dust settles in a few years, we're going to be a lot better off. Now, just so you know, not all Tesla Superchargers are compatible with Ford vehicles. It has to be the version 3 or version 4 stations. There's not a lot of V4 stations out here. We're at a V3 here today, but the V2s that are limited to 150 kilowatts, they are not compatible. So you have to find which ones are going to work with your vehicle. Now, luckily, if you have a Ford vehicle, you could use their Charge Assist, which I did on the way here. I plugged in Charge Assist, and it showed me that this station was in the network and it was available to use, which was great. And just for fun, I went on my Google navigation, Google Maps, and I went to navigate to here, and it told me that the station's not compatible with my electric vehicle. So you don't want to use the Google Maps if you're trying to find a Tesla Supercharger with your Ford adapter right now. Use the Charge Assist, and it'll take you to the closest ones that work. It won't lead you to a V2 Supercharger that you can't plug into. So listen, there's a lot of content coming out on these adapters in the next week or so. I'm taking a long road trip with my friend Kyle in a day. We're actually driving from New Jersey to Florida. There might be a race going on between the two of us, but I don't know if we can say that publicly. But keep an eye out for that, because I think we're going to have a lot of fun this weekend, me and Kyle. Listen, if this is your first time here at State of Charge, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming electric vehicle news and reviews. And as always, thanks for watching.